A local mayor resigned today after revealing a double life that he claims involves brainwashing, Satanism, and truth serum.
Yeah, today Ken Williams also said he's been living under an assumed name for nearly 30 years. Williams has been mayor of Centerton since 2001. Melissa Kelly joins us live. Melissa, Ken Williams is the assumed name.
And he assumed that name when he moved to Centerton in 1980. He was born Don LaRose and says in the mid-70s he was a preacher in Indiana when he disappeared. Williams says he was abducted by Satan worshippers, brainwashed, and forgot all about his life as Don LaRose. He says his memories as Don LaRose were lost until he was given a truth serum injection. When he got parts of his memory back, he says he realized he had a wife and 2 kids, but decided to leave and take on a new identity to protect them. Today, residents of Centerton learned his story of leading a double life, and Ken Williams turned in his resignation as mayor. By mid-morning in Centerton, a newspaper was tough to find. People across town were trying to get their hands on the front page.
I didn't know what to think. I met the gentleman, and I had no idea he's leading a double life.
People want to know why Ken Williams has lived 27 years under an assumed name. Williams says he had to leave his former life as Don LaRose.
I had a choice. The choice was to watch my family killed in front of my eyes, or to go with these people. And I chose instead to run.
He wouldn't explain who he was running from, but says he was brainwashed.
I had had multiple shock treatments. It took about 5 years to get most of my memory back.
Don LaRose eventually took on the identity of Bruce Kent Williams, the name of a man who died in a car accident in 1958.
I don't know of any laws that I've broken.
Today, Williams stepped down as mayor of Centerton.
It's a matter of credibility, and I guess in a sense, you'd have to say that I was living a lie.
His letter of resignation was signed with 2 names.
Sincerely, and with thanks, Ken Williams / Don LaRose.
As people from coffee shops to the barber shop continued to wonder about the story,
I was shocked, surprised.
Ken Williams offered this explanation to the city of Centerton.
What happened in 1980, whether it was right or wrong, what I did it under threat for the safety of my family and for my own survival.
This information came out because Ken Williams runs a website about Don LaRose and his disappearance. Don LaRose's former family found the website and started wondering about its author, who was running that website. They found the site was registered to Ken Williams, and then the family went from there. And by the way, today Ken Williams says his current wife is standing by him, and the 2 of them plan to continue living in Centerton.
Wow. All right.
Very weird. Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Today, Ken Williams says he plans to continue living as Ken Williams.
Yeah, he says he's not under investigation for any criminal wrongdoing.
There's so many different organizations that are affected with mind control that we cannot be misled into believing that it's just one particular group of people or another. We can't even say that this is Democrats or Republicans.
No.
This has nothing to do with party lines. What it has to do with is a New World Order agenda. When I was under mind control, before I was rescued and my mind and my memory restored, I was totally robotic. I had no ability to think for myself. I had no ability to question or to reason. I could only do exactly what I was told to do. One thing that I was told to do was to attend a White House cocktail party. This was during the Reagan-Bush administration while Ronald Reagan was president. It was on one occasion in particular that I heard Ronald Reagan talking with then Prime Minister of Canada, Brian Mulroney, who was also involved in this New World Order effort. And he said at that time that he believed the only way to world peace is through mind control of the masses. This is terrifying in proportion, especially when, having experienced mind control, I know that there is no peace of mind under mind control. Without free thought, there's no free will. Without God-given free will, there's no spiritual expression. And I wonder, what kind of a so-called world peace can we have where people have no peace of mind, where they have no spiritual expression, when they have when they're not even in touch with their own identity? Or it's very frightening in proportion when we consider the ramifications of what all mind control entails and how anyone can justify a robotic society under the so-called world peace guise, which is actually the New World Order, world dominance. It's my experience that Ronald Reagan took orders directly from George Bush. George Bush was one of the highest up that I'm aware of, if not the highest up that I was ever exposed to during the course of my White House Pentagon level mind control victimization. George Bush began with the United Nations. He went on to head our CIA. And then by everything that I witnessed and experienced, it was George Bush who was in control of our country through 3 administrations, because Ronald Reagan answers to George Bush. Then George Bush was in office himself. And after that, Bill Clinton went into office. And I heard Bill Clinton and George Bush once discussing how when the American populace became disillusioned with Republicans in control of our country, bringing us into the New World Order, that Bill Clinton, as a Democrat, would be put into office. And it was also my experience to have witnessed Bill Clinton answering to George Bush.